Welcome to Tech Tip Daily. Today I'll be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to disable some features on your Windows 11 computer that are likely affecting its overall performance. By disabling these features that you likely don't even need, you'll notice that your computer will operate a lot quicker and just better overall. So to begin, we're going to go to the search bar down here and type in Services. You'll find the Services system. You want to click that. Then once in here, we're going to be disabling some services that you likely don't need. I won't exactly be disabling them in this instance, because for me, I want to keep a lot of them on. However, for some of you, you might not need them, and it'll be easy for you to just go ahead and disable it to increase your computer's efficiency. So, to begin, for many people, one of the features you probably aren't utilizing is Bluetooth. Not everyone actually uses this, and it does affect your computer while it's running. In my case, I am utilizing Bluetooth quite regularly. However, if you're not, you can go ahead and disable it. So to disable any app that we're going to be discussing here, or in this case Bluetooth, what you do is right-click it, go to Properties, then you'd want to switch it on startup type from manual to disabled. You'd click Disabled, you would press OK, and Apply. And that would immediately show disabled, and you would see it here. Instead of manual trigger start, it would say disabled, just like it says over here for AMD Crash Defender Service. And you can do that for each of these by going to Properties and following the same path. There's about, I believe, 3 or 4 Bluetooth features that you can disable, and that'll immediately help your system work quicker. Another service that is useless to most people, it often runs, is if you scroll down, you will see the Connected User Experiences and Telemetry. This one right here. Now, you can go ahead and disable that as well. And you'll see here, it's the same process. Click OK, Apply, and you are safe to do this. The only thing is, the only way that this could be negative for you, because this is to communicate and send issues to Windows, is if you're in the Windows Insider program. I am not, so I could disable this if I'd like. But in the case that you are, I'd recommend not doing that. That might have an effect on your services that you have. So if you're not in the Windows Insider program, you can go ahead and safely disable that, and it'll help your computer run a lot quicker, same way as disabling the Bluetooth. And yet another thing you can go ahead and disable if you're not actively using this is the Bitlocker drive encryption service right here. So unless you're aware and you're actually using drive encryption, then if you're not, you can go ahead and just disable it. It's not useful to you. You would be the same way as everything else. You'd go down here, click Disabled, press OK, Apply, and just like that, that would be disabled. Now once again, if you are encrypting your drive and you're aware of this, then I would recommend not doing that because the services won't work the same way. Otherwise, it won't have an effect on you, and it'll help speed up your computer, just like the other few tips we've given. And yet another feature you can disable is if you scroll down and find the Geolocation services right here. Geolocation services is just basically stating where your computer is and basically in a geographical location. And as long as you're not using any apps that require this, you can go ahead and turn it off. There's almost no reason to have this. You can click Stop, go Properties, and go ahead and disable the same way. Now, this won't even have an effect on your geolocation service in browsers. This is specific to just apps on your Windows computer. So, if you want to block that, you go ahead and stop that, and that'll easily speed up your computer a little bit more instead of tracking you 24/7. For most apps, there's not even a purpose for this. So yet another one that you can go ahead and disable if you are not using it. I mean, always verify, because for some things it's possible you're using it and don't know, but I would say for this one, sensor service. So for sensor service, if you're not using anything related to a sensor, then you're fine to go ahead and disable it, and it wouldn't even matter. But just always double check, triple check to make sure that you're disabling something that you don't need. And see, as you can see here, if this service is stopped or disabled, the SDO sensor will not be loaded, so auto rotation will not occur. But if you're not using a sensor, it's completely irrelevant. Same way, go ahead and click Disabled, OK, Apply. And yet another service that you can turn off that you probably don't need, and it's just taking up space on your computer, is the Xbox Accessory Management. As you can see here, it's manual and it'll run. and almost anything Xbox related here, you can go ahead and go to properties and disable it unless you're utilizing something Xbox related. For instance, if you're playing video games or if you're using some sort of recording or snapshot software that's related to Xbox, then I would go ahead and tell you to keep it on. But most people don't utilize these features and it's just running in the background for absolutely no reason. So you can go ahead and disable all the Xbox features that are not necessary if you're not a gamer. Now there's two other features you can go ahead and disable that are in the Windows area of your computer. And for one of them, it is the Windows Error Reporting. Let's find it. Windows Error Reporting Service. This is just basically sending Windows any updates on your computer if you have any issues. Now, if you don't care to do that, just Properties, go through the same process and disable it. And another feature regarding Windows is the Biometric Service. Unless you're utilizing a computer that has like facial recognition or something like that, that you are actually actively utilizing, you're not going to need this. It's just, there's no point of having it on. Just go to Properties and go ahead and click Disable as you did with the others. These are just more services that would help speed up your computer if they're not running for no reason, in the case that you are not utilizing them. Now, especially if you're just a regular person and you're not utilizing your computer for like big time work or faxing, you're not going to need a fax machine or a fax thing to be running in the background here. So you can click this, you see enable to send and receive faxes. This is kind of outdated to begin with, and no one is likely using this anymore. And even if you are, chances are, you're in the minority. But in this case, if you aren't using it, I'd go ahead and disable that. Go to Properties, same thing, disable, and that's it. And you just disable, press OK, apply. Now, while that's relatively irrelevant at this point in time, at least for most people, one that is still relevant would be the, let me find it, the print spooler. So like for printing or anything of that, any printer extensions and stuff around here, if you're not utilizing printers, you can go ahead and turn that off by going to Properties and once again going to Disable. But some people do actually utilize printers for different reasons, and the different extensions, as you can see, this is currently running. I don't use it, so I'm going to go ahead and disable this and press OK and apply. And then as you can see, it is now disabled. And that applies for all of the apps that we've gone through today that are, in my opinion, not completely necessary unless you recognize that you're utilizing them on a daily basis. Stopping these is going to help optimize your computer space and help it run more efficiently. So that'll be it for today. Hopefully that helped you guys out and you learned some ways to help speed up your Windows 11 computer. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.